want to get that energy kicked up again so that the darn thing we
look,
can hear each
we're
other.
moving around and now it's acting crazy. It's hilarious. Welcome to 5D, baby.
Welcome to the Sunday Soul Podcast. My name is Elisa, and this is Heart of Inspiration. Here at this channel, we help you lead a whole and healed, peaceful, and prosperous life, and help you identify, clarify, and prosper from your purpose. And I have a very, very, very special guest with us today. I have Shaman DestanyRaven with us today, and she is a powerful, powerful woman of light, of wisdom, a powerful oracle that has been formally in practice for 2 decades here on this earth. And I want her to introduce herself briefly because we have a lot to discuss tonight, coming to you as 2 oracles, as 2 women, Gaia, goddesses of energy and unity, and discussing this great conjunction. So, Shaman DestanyRaven, can you please let everyone know who you are? Introduce yourself to us.
Namaste, gratitude, love, and light, everyone. I am Shaman DestanyRaven, and I am a shamanic practitioner, what is known as a galactic shaman. I am an ET channel, a light language activator, translator, and starborn here to help in the ascension, to assist those who are currently experiencing this shift, to get this planet and everyone on it to 5D.
Well, blessings. Namaste. Thank you very much. And that's a very brief synopsis of what a lot that is going on right now, a lot that you have to do. That was very succinct. Speak just a little bit about being a galactic shaman as opposed to, I would use the word Akashic shaman, so earthbound shaman. If I'm wrong,
Right.
just Brian, you can tell me. But what is your role then, more so centered around being a galactic shaman, if you don't mind?
Well, the shamans go back to as far as, our first being here as earthlings. And they were those who were a little bit more consciously aware of the higher states of being. And they were able to messages through the astral realm, through those that have crossed over. And then there was a smaller number of those shaman that were able to connect to star races and to travel interdimensionally and to help seed higher consciousness of the planet. Back then it was a little bit more challenging because the density was way lower than it is now. And so, it wasn't just everyone like it is now, everyone awakening. There was a very small number that was able to bring through these messages to help the starborns that volunteered to come here to awaken, and also the earthlings that were here going through their karmic cycle and process as well to eventually get us to where we are right now. So a galactic shaman is more so still within the realms of shamanic practitioner. However, we connect to higher dimensional beings. We connect to parallel realities and many other esoteric things. While some of the other shaman that are here will more connect to, ancestors that have crossed, which from my understanding, I consider the galactics ancestors as well, but more, Earth incarnation ancestors. And so that's the only difference. And it's the work that we do. So that's about
Just a little something, something. Nothing serious. Just a little something, something. Yes. I think I know.
Dimensions.
The planets and dimensions. Nothing. Just all in a day's work. I was very much led to have you on now, today, at the close of 2020, and Spirit made sure that we were able to do this because of the importance of what we're about to enter into, and what we have already to some degree entered into, and the importance of this Jupiter Saturn. I keep wanting to say Jupiter Pluto, and that's really weird for me. But anyway, Jupiter Saturn conjunction.
Pluto's coming.
Yes, and that's why slow and steady wins the race. So Pluto's plodding itself along. But I wanted to speak to you about what you are sensing and hearing from the other dimensions. What I'm sensing and hearing, and I believe a lot of this, of course, is going to coincide and coalesce as we move into fifth density. I'm feeling not only just the shift, right, from cellular carbon to crystalline, but also as far as body type. So I've spoken on this channel before about bodies without blood and bone, because there's some inferences to that in the Bible. But also, I'm also sensing and feeling a shift and a rift where it is literally like humanity quite probably will be living in two-dimensional realities, two parallel time zones, if you will, timelines, at the same time while on the same, we're all here. So I want to let's just dive head first right in. I want to kind of talk to you about what are you seeing, sensing about this?
Sure.
Here. Yeah.
Well, we're already experiencing that in the sense of many people that are very much still in 3D. And then there are those that are in 4 going into 5, sometimes into 5. What people need to understand is that dimensions can be experienced simultaneously. You can be in 3D, but you can experience 5, 6, 7, 8. You can go all the way to Mother, Father, God. You can have those experiences. And so this conjunction is really just giving the planet a boost in shifting into higher density and dimension. We, as beings on the planet, are already experiencing, this shift of going in and out of dimensions. I've even had clients that go through parallel realities that seem very real to them, where they're what many think is daydreaming, or if they have a dream time or whatever it is, it may be a jump into a parallel reality. So we are multidimensional beings. And this means that we are capable of being in multi dimensions at once. So it is going to merge closer together, meaning we'll leave a lot of the 3D aspects and the 3D ways of living and being behind us as the planet shifts. Because when you get into a planet that is in higher dimension and density, then the lower dimensions and the lower densities don't exist in that reality anymore. So there's no longer vibrational matches. What is likened to itself is drawn. So if you are in a 3D and you're on a 5D planet, you're not a vibrational match, are you? So that's why it's really important that people are raising frequency and vibration, because as the planet shifts and goes into this 5D state, you're needing to be a vibrational match to be on the planet.
That's a deep statement you just made. So if I'm understanding you correctly,
well, you wanted to dive deep.
Where we went, if I'm understanding you correctly, what you're saying is that as the planet moves through transmutes, basically translates through fourth dimensional time barrier into fifth density, that anything and anyone that has not elevated its baseline frequency to a certain level, to a certain frequency vibrational set point,
right,
can no longer literally exist on this realm, because this no longer can basically support it. So it gets an old version that, like, Windows, Microsoft won't support it, like Windows Vista. You can't call Microsoft right now, get any assistance with Windows Vista. So what you're saying, right? So you can't. So I'm a techno nerd, sorry. So what you're saying is there's some point where
that's good. So I'm sure people are listening that tech nerds, they'll get that one. That was a good analogy. That's good.
They'll understand. They'll overstand, and they'll be like, "Oh, I got it." So they just what happens to what? That's the question I'm going to get. Then what happens to those beings?
Well, okay. So remember, this is just an experience that meta soul or the oversoul is having, right?
Yes.
You are the meta soul having this human experience, or the oversoul having this human experience. And so if your human aspect is not vibrationally a match for a fifth dimensional planet, then you will go through the incarnation cycle again, and you will reincarnate on a planet that you are a vibrational match to.
Brilliant.
Understand?
Yes. So for those of you that are freaking out, wondering whether or not your loved ones are going to just evaporate one day and not exist, I'm telling you, I heard it literally. When I play this later, that's going to pop up in the chat.
So
we're not saying they're going to poof be gone. We're just and never to return anywhere. So go ahead.
There's no such thing as we're immortal. We don't die. We are souls. Souls don't die. Okay, that is the huge misconception that happens when you're going through the process of awakening. You go through the lower density perspective and process of transition, and so the death is looked at as final and finite, when it's not. It's just a process. And so similar to when we began the beginning of the year, we had a lot of mass exits, and there's still mass exits happening. And the reason why those mass exits are happening is because the frequency and the vibration on the planet are going up. Souls that can't handle that energy. They're not ready for it, because it is a vibrational thing. They can't handle it. They're not ready for it. They transition out and they go back into the incarnation cycle. It's not a punishment. It's not a trap. It's not anything like that. It's a part of the process of the meta soul.
Yes.
As we go further along and people expand and open up more, they'll get to understand more about the meta soul And then they won't really attach to death or life. They'll just know that they're going through cycles.
Yes. And it is what it is. The beauty, I
The
think.
ascension,
Go ahead.
right. Well, the
No.
ascension was chosen by the souls. It wasn't a punishment. So it doesn't really, it's not to say, oh, you didn't make the cut, or you're not, you're not on the team, or you're not, it's not a members only thing.
Mm-hmm,
A
mm-hmm.
lot of souls came here just to experience this part
Mm-hmm.
and nothing more. And it's okay for them. And when come
Mm-hmm.
back again, they will have gained more mastery.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's not about the human will think that it's a contest, it's a competition. And I always say it's not a competition. This is a soul mission for ascension and to experience that.
Yes. Yes. And that is at its very essence the crux of the crux of this Jupiter Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees Aquarius, just as both enter Aquarius. The beauty for me of this is Jupiter and all of its expansive ascension, divine, knowing everything is possible because everything truly is. We need to decide what the intention is we're going to place our eyesight and our energy towards in order so that particular intention grows. But Jupiter is like, you can have whatever you want. And then Saturn is coming in saying, okay, I was done. I've been through Capricorn in Western astrology. We'll talk about in Vedic what this, because that then is happening at 0 degrees Capricorn. So that throws a whole other little monkey wrench into that whole thing. But anyway, but then Saturn coming in and saying, I'm going to basically reset time. We're going to remove time, constraints, rules, regulations, what your mother has said, what your father has said, and your auntie and your grandmother. All of this does not matter anymore. It's time for you to decide, are you going to embark on your soul's mission in a purposeful, meaningful, expansive? Are you finally going to take a bite of the true apple? Are you finally going to set yourself free and throw off the chains and put on this new being with new technology, right, and very revolutionary, because right, Aquarius is revolutionary energy, right? It's revolutionary in its very essence. Right. Are you going to do this? And this for me is the time where a great number of souls are saying, oh my gosh, I'm meant for something more. Are you seeing that come? And as a leader in this realm, and we use those terms, but as an oracle, shaman, a leader in this realm, how much importance is it that more of us start really walking and like stepping up to the plate and let's get going?
It's so important. It's so, a lot of people are waiting for the new earth. And I like to remind them that we are the creators of this reality. And so we are creating the new earth. And how do we do that? We can't create it in the same ways that we didn't like before. We have to create new ways. And how do you go doing that? Well, you've got to first figure out what it is you're really supposed to be doing here. Not what mommy and daddy told you to do and go to school to be, or the government, or the society, or your friends, or the TV and the programs and the influencers. What is it that is within you? How are you connecting to your soul, and what is your soul saying to you? One of my most popular readings is the Life Path Soul Mission. And that started revving up right before this year began. But as soon as this year took off and everybody was like, wait a minute, what am I really doing here? I need
Mm-hmm.
this. It's really important because humans have sort of set themselves apart. We've been taught to believe distance, we're the only thing popping. And meanwhile, so many other things going on out there. And we also play a role in that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people sort of say, well, I'm not purposeful. There's nothing, like, what am I? I could just go to work and come home, and we go into this rat race instead of realizing that everything we do here affects out there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
the humans on this planet are very much purposeful to what
Yeah.
goes on in the higher dimensions, or there
Yes.
wouldn't be all of this galactic assistance here. And I
Yes.
think when people start to realize what is going on, even if you don't believe in the full scope of it, there is something going on here. And why is it? What's happening here? And what are you doing in the midst of all of this stuff that's happening? What part
Yeah.
do you play? Because everyone plays a role here. And I think that's where it needs to shift, is when people need to realize that they play a role, that they are purposeful in this process of expansion, every single one of it. So when you
Yes.
get every day and you're just going to the job that you don't like, you're in the relationship you don't want to be in, you're around people you don't, when you're doing that, then you have given over your power. You've given over the control to someone else instead of being a true sovereign being and saying, you know what, I don't choose this. I don't
Yeah.
want this. This doesn't make me feel good. This is what makes me feel like I'm in my light. This is how my soul is satisfied and
Yes.
go that. And so
Yeah.
this conjunction is really assisting people in opening up to what they are really doing here, because everyone is purposeful.
Yes. And everyone is purposeful in a very unique, meaningful way. Not everyone. A lot of times people think, well, I have no purpose because, well, I'm not on YouTube, or I'm not meant to be on YouTube, or I'm not meant to have a thriving shamanic, practice for 2 decades. Like, I'm not meant to do that. Like, all
Right.
these things, but
Right.
not understanding
Right.
that you, in your own home, in your own neighborhood, in your own town, what have you, at the job that
Yes.
you're at right now, but then you're supposed to be somewhere else, either going to school or going working at somewhere else, or doing your own thing, being an entrepreneur in some form or fashion, and doing your own thing. We're all meant to do different things, and we're all very meaningful, because
Right.
each and every soul is precious, each and every one.
Right.
I'm no more precious than
Right.
you, than the next, and the next, and the next. We're each of equal
Right.
value. Talk a little bit about the galactic
Right.
assistance. Talk a little bit about that. We've delved into a little bit of star seeds and in this, but I want to talk a
Mhm.
little bit about why some of us are here assisting right now. Like, who's who are some of the players, if
Right.
you will.
So, there are many that, you know, relate to being a star seed or starborn. And this is a little bit different from being an earthling. Yes, Earth is also a star system, the Milky Way galaxy. So, from one perspective, someone would say we're all star seeds. The initial name starseed, where that derived from, is from beings that have incarnated on other star systems. They're called star seeds or starborns. That name has been here for a very long time. It's not new age. And many of these star beings have come here because they know the importance of what's happening here. They know that in this universe, we are getting the chance to get to a completion, which many galactics have done. The Lyrans, the Orions, the Carians, many star beings have, gone through their ascension process, have done all of this already. So from one perspective, you can say it's your future self coming back here in an earthly body to assist with the earthlings here. So it's really important that the star seeds know that they are not, you know, and I like to, and let me rephrase this term. No one is here that is experience. They didn't just plop you on the planet and say, okay, go figure it out. Many star beings that are here are high commanders, are generals, are those who have gone through this process many times, who are indeed ascended masters and have come back here to assist in this because it is so powerful. You don't go from 3D to 5D.
No.
That isn't something that just happens all the time. And so that's another reason why it's so very important for everyone to tune in and figure out what it is that they're supposed to be doing here, because this is a very powerful time. It's a very meaningful thing that will affect other star systems, other galaxies, other universes. Many star seeds come here, and because of the density dimension, they get very much stuck in this cycle, in the loop, in the karmic patterns, and all of it, in the bloodlines that they come to clear. They get very much caught up in it, and that's the rub. That's the planet you chose to be on. But you chose it because you, again, you're, you know, someone that's experienced. You're someone that's capable of being here and flipping the energy and neutralizing it.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, okay, everyone, we're going to take a really quick break while I get Shaman Destiny back on the line. And just wait right here. We're going to do a really quick ad and just a little commercial break, and we'll be right back at you. Thanks. We are back. We're back. And we are going to now have Shaman Destiny Raven answer the very important question that I posed before the break. What is the importance of star seeds? Why are we here? What's our purpose? What's going on? So I'm going to let you take it away, Shaman.
So the star seeds are here to help raise the frequency and the vibration of the planet. Because we have incarnated in higher dimensions, we have certain codes from those dimensions. We have experiences from those dimensions that we can offer to the earth and to all of its inhabitants to help raise the frequency and the vibration of the planet to get it to 5D. So again, the planet itself is getting assistance from the cosmic energy. So it's really the inhabitants on the planet that we're really here supporting, because they have to be a vibrational match in order to shift with the planet when the planet eventually goes completely 5D. You were saying before, in regards to people thinking that everyone's got to go be a shaman, or everyone's got to go be a, you know, an oracle or a sage or whatever it is that they're these days. And so for me, You are a light worker. That means you work with your light. You can
Mhm.
work with your light being in the corporate office. You can work with your light being in an establishment, in a restaurant. You can be a hairdresser and be a light worker, meaning if your client comes in and they're in a negative, you can shift their energy and their frequency. You can give them a different perspective to really move the energy instead of sitting there and going along with their woes. So you don't need to necessarily be reading oracles and doing all of those things. I always recommend that people tune into divination just as a way to connect with your guides,
Mhm.
but it doesn't mean that everybody's going to go out and be a shaman. Everybody's going to
Correct.
go out and be a tarot reader. Everybody's going to go out and do this spiritual work. You're working with your light. That's spiritual work. It's
Correct.
not in this box. It doesn't matter what you do. I remember showing my daughter a video of this guy. He was walking on the street, and there were these two little boys, and they were getting ready to fight. And he walked over to them, and he talked to them, and he said to them, "I know your parents. They don't want this for you. They work hard." He gave them this whole big thing and shifted their energies. By the time they were done, they shook hands and walked away. And I looked at my daughter and I said, "That's a light worker."
Yes.
You don't need to be doing, all of the esoteric things. You
No.
can just simply be accountable for how you show up in your surroundings. And
Yes.
that worker. Many star seeds are here from planets where they are loving, they're in their heart, and they know that. And then they come here to this density in this dimension, and they're like, "What is happening? Why is everyone fighting? Why do you hate each other?"
Mhm.
And instead of shifting into showing people how to be loving, they get introverted. They don't want to have to go anywhere. They're like, "All right, I'm out of here. No, I gotta no." You're not in here to sit. You didn't come on the planet to sit on the sidelines. You came to take part in this game. You came to
Yes.
be.
Yes. You came to be a player. I think also one of the questions that I've had or thought processes I've had is that because it seems to me that probably about 20 to 30 years ago we were ready to do this before. Like we've been ready to kind of like start. This has been a sputter, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And there's a number of different ways to look at it. But I also kind of feel that part of the reason why the planet hasn't been ready is because the star seeds have got that kind of been intoxicated, right, by humanity
Yes.
and by at it the primal basal lower three chakra
Yeah.
energies. And to be human, um it's kind of cool. There's a lot of great things about being human, but I think they've gotten sucked into the bloodline and sucked into the this and like kind of, and that they now their own consciousness is finally just reawakening to that. Do you want to touch a little bit on any of that, or how do you feel about that subject?
Well, for sure, because I think a lot of people, I always say that this is a work trip. Okay, this is not Earth Club Met. We're not here hanging out. We did come on a mission. And when you go on a mission,
Yeah.
a lot of people consider themselves to be the boots on the ground. Well, when you send the boots on the ground, do you send them to go and watch TV? Do you send them to go and party? Do you send them to go? And I'm not saying that you
Yeah.
shouldn't have fun and you shouldn't enjoy your life experience. I'm saying that there is an objective to you being here, and
Yeah.
you've got become aware of that. Now, it is the rub that we come onto a planet that is, you come and you fall under the amnesia,
Yeah.
but there are so many ways to get out of it.
Yes.
And this is a planet of yes and a planet of give you what you want. So if you don't learn how to focus your thoughts, if you don't learn how to shift in a direction that is going to assist you, then you're going to keep getting all of the distractions. You're going to keep getting the loops. You're going to keep, getting sucked into these karmic entanglements and patterns and relationships that you yourself and the other soul has come here and agreed to work things out and then go. A lot of people literally will just stay for a very, very long time. And then they wonder, why does this keep happening? They have their own Mandela effects going on. And they shift and blame outwardly and go, the man is keeping me down and I'm stuck in the matrix. And, all of these scenarios that from one perspective, you can look at it in that way. But as a sovereign being, as a highly evolved, higher dimensional being, this should be very easy for you. But you've got to be accountable. You've got to be aware. A lot of people just hand over the control. They go, oh no, I can't. It's Earth. It's so hard. It's not easy here.
No.
Okay. It's not an easy thing. You don't just, it's not, oh, I'm going to go to Earth. I'll be back.
No. Right. I'll pick up a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk on my way back. Okay, no problem, honey. I'll be right back. No, it's not a walk in the park.
No, but when you are here, you have your guide. There's so many ways that you can open up, so many opportunities that will present themselves to you over and over and over again. Spirit is very patient. Spirit will continue to show you things, speak in volumes. How many times just repeat? How many times have you had things just come at you? Someone will say something and then you'll go somewhere else and someone else will say the exact same thing. Those are the incentives for you to open up. You didn't just plop you here and say, all right, you're on your own. Right. You have support here.
Right.
But
and a ton of support here. And fortunately, what has happened is we've given the power to the support.
Right.
In a greater way and given up our own sovereignty, our own agency, our own divinity. And as we are moving now from this age of this Piscean age of a savior, a messiah, that kind of, while it's understandable, while it's absolutely wonderful to have the consciousness to understand that you are in fact divine of the divine.
You are the Messiah.
You are the Messiah. Yes.
Yeshua himself said, you and I are the same.
Yes.
But a lot of things get misconstrued and, for agendas. But how much of it are you going to take? Because you can say, oh, they've messed with the Bible and they've done this and they've done that. Yes, but how much are you buying into? How much are you just giving away and believing? Why aren't you questioning? Why aren't you saying to yourself, that doesn't make sense? I was the one in church like, wait, what? Because it just didn't come together for me.
Me too. And I'm standing behind the pulpit going,
and I'm the pastor's granddaughter who's like, and I'm like, excuse me, what? What happened to Mary and Joseph? Who are they? But it's about you asking the questions. I always say that to people, like, don't be afraid to ask questions, even to me. Question me. Ask me a question.
Yes.
For cosmic law, you got to ask me. So ask me a question, and I for sure will give you an answer if I haven't. And if I don't, seek within.
Yes.
It's and foremost. That's another thing. It's shaman knows it, so I don't need to know it. No, baby.
Oh my God.
Know it.
No.
It is about you knowing it. And a lot of people go to that, when they get in their ego and the narcissism. It happens in spirituality for sure, that they believe that they are just, no, come to me. I am the guru. I am the one.
Right.
You don't need to know. I know. No, I am all about self-empowerment. It's the way I teach. It's the way I construct anything that I do. It's self-empowerment. I want you to be able to say, I can do this myself.
Yes.
I have the support, and it's the same thing with the Galactics. It's the same principles.
Yes.
You have support, but you are capable of doing this all on your own. I hear that all the time. Why don't they just come and save us?
No.
You don't need to be saved. Batman and Superman are not on the way. Go put on your cape. Go put on your super, human
Because
self.
we have all of that. We have the capabilities of Batman, Superman, Professor X, Cyclops.
All of it.
We can regenerate ourselves like Wolverine. Like, don't get me started, because we are that. Okay, we are that.
I think one of the biggest things that is going to just be a great aha moment is when people realize who they truly are.
Yes.
It's going to be like, aha. So that's why I'm here.
Yes.
And
And
it hit.
that, sister, is where that's this moment.
Yeah. Yep.
That's this portal. That's this Jupiter, Saturn, and Aquarius. Who am I really? And how do I fit into the collective to make the collective greater?
Right.
How can I take my own agency and my own divinity and my own power, be fulfilled, self-fulfilled, and self-contained, if you will, yet be a complete and integrated part of the collective? That's
Right.
the portal. That's the reason.
Yeah. And I was listening to Pam Gregory, and she talked about it's not really just the age of Aquarius. We're going into basically 200 years of the air signs. We're
Yes, yes.
into just, I mean, if you ever talk about a quantum leap in consciousness, we're about to hit it.
This is it.
And the reason why we're here is because we're able to do it. We're capable of it. There's so many people that are starting to listen to their gut feelings, you know, their intuition. They're starting to awaken all of their chakras. They're starting to realize that there's more than just 7 chakras. They're starting to really tune into what's going on in and around them.
Yeah.
And I think this conjunction is going to support that process. It's going to support the great unfolding. And no, not on December 21st. Everybody's not going to be all kumbaya and like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like some people think it's going to be like, bam, we're going to be like, let the sun shine. No. It's not, you know.
I hate to tell them, but we're not fixing to have a rapture, and Jesus not coming on that white horse. I hate to tell him.
He's in here. He's already here.
He's already here. He's already come.
Right.
Go pick up the book of Thomas and read that, because then you'll have a much greater understanding of the rest of them. The Gospel of Thomas. Go read the Gospel of Thomas. Please go read the Gospel of Thomas. Because
again, that's why a lot of people are so looped around, is because a lot of the pieces have been taken out. So it's sort of like a book with chapters taken out. How do you read the book?
Wait, and important chapters, not just any old chapter, like the power chapter.
Exactly.
The chapter that moves our protagonist from, oh my gosh, I'm about to die, and then here's victory over here, and we done took the whole how they got from point A to point B. The whole thing is gone.
Right, it's confusing. I would be confused.
Just know they made it. Just know they made it. It's all right.
Right. So you have a lot of that going. So that's where the confusion comes in. But we're getting into a space of, again, people questioning.
Yes.
Because before it was just the subservient. I don't need to question anything. I just need to follow. Now everything is like, wait, what? What did you say? Wait, what?
Right.
What, run that by me again? That doesn't sound right.
It's revolutionary. It's the revolution of evolution. I was talking about this all last year, that 2020 into 2021. The revolution of evolution. If you know the story of Jupiter, Zeus, and Saturn, Kronos, you'll know that Zeus rose up in mythological times and killed his daddy, Kronos, to take the throne over, because he was like, meh, I could do this better. And it was a wrap. He had a whole new way, a whole new idea. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying go kill your ancestors. I'm just saying that please do not go kill your mother and father if you're listening to this broadcast. But the concept is that, as you were stating before, what mommy and daddy, grandma and granddaddy said, what the pastor and the teacher and the cat down the road said that you should do, what society and television has programmed you into believing is who you are and all you can attain and all you ever will be.
Right.
And that this should be a specific perspective you have on the world and on your life.
Right.
You need to overtake that and let that be gone, die, kill it off, because you're a whole new creature. This is rebirth.
Right.
Ascension is rebirth.
And I'm a mother of 4. Birth is it's not pretty.
Nope.
It's not pretty. It's a little painful.
Yeah.
And there's even parts of it, the whole process of being with child, and that it's a challenge. So we are here. I was in this relay. It's actually until tomorrow, I think, of light workers from around the planet. And the person that put it together, she referred to us as being the midwives.
Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant, because we are for sure birthing, bringing through so much newness.
Yeah.
I think people need to start getting creative, being daring, thinking way outside the box, not even having a box, just being outside of everything that society has ever told you to be and do, and try it. And not to stick it to society, not to stick it to the man.
No.
Hey, you know what? I've always wanted to do this. This has always been a thought to bring to the collective,
Yeah.
to inspire people, to assist people, because most people that make it, most people that are successful, it's because they want to assist. It's not service to self, it's service to others.
Yes. Exactly.
When we get into this place of, okay, I just need to be rich, we kind of struggle. When we
Right.
get into a place where it's like, you know what, I have this amazing idea. I just saw this 17-year-old that created some energy saving thing. He's from MIT because he grew up in a poverty-stricken neighborhood, and he saw the way that the electricity was just being sucked into these people. He said his neighbors would basically not put their lights on at night and use candles, all this stuff. And he's 17, went to MIT, said, you know what, I'm going to shift this reality and I'm going to bring in the new. And that's how these new ones are coming in. They're coming in like, oh, I don't know what you were talking about. A bill. I don't know about that. We're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. I've got this in, and we're going to put this into place.
Right.
And a lot of us that are here, we are sitting on all of these great possibilities. And it's time for us to start implementing them, start putting them into play, because we are creating new earth. It's not just going to plop here. It's not just going to be, oh, new earth, here it is.
Right.
We've got to create it. I think people get all airy fairy and they think it's like, no, we've got to bring it here. We've got to be the ones, even shifting over the way we make money, the way we are doing things. I mean, there's a woman that literally creates grids, takes the pictures of the grids and sends it to clients. And that's her profession.
Wow.
But this is the world that we are shifting into, when you know the power of that. You know that it's not just simply a picture. You know that there are frequencies and vibrations that are coming from that picture that's going to shift the trajectory of your whole life.
Yes.
You are investing in that, and that's the way that we're shifting into making money and everything, where it's not just the IOU, the paper.
Right. Right.
We don't even do gold anymore. We just give you a piece of paper. What?
Well, and then some are saying that, well, who cares about gold anyway, because silver is a better conductor of electricity and of heat. So if you actually needed to use it for anything, you'd actually be better off with silver than you would gold.
Right. But it's been manipulated, and it's been carried on wrong, that, shifting it over. It's not so much as the woe is me, talking about all of the ways that we've been wronged. Because if you continue to shift into that and think about that, then that's where we'll be. What is likened to itself is drawn. You want to talk about the old, or you want to create the new? I don't do the old. Anyone that comes to me, I don't want to talk about your woes. I don't want to talk about anything that's going on in your experience that you are currently having a challenge with. I'm going to assist you to shift out of it. We're going to jump timelines. We're going to wake up and not even remember what was going on before. It'll be a whole new world. And that's what people need to realize, that they can do that. You can actually shift and be in a whole new space. It doesn't matter if you were in the same bed. You are in a whole new timeline.
You really are.
You brought the bed with all the experiences are going to be different.
Right. You really are. And that's what, my favorite, I know people think I'm just like stuck there, but my favorite movie I keep going back to is always The Matrix, because they could literally choose to be wherever they wanted to be and whatever time they wanted to be in, with whatever resources, tools, whatever they wanted to have in that moment. Like whatever they needed, they were just like, here we go, we're done. And that's the life. Then I'm like, this is where if you choose to live that life now, because I talk about being a dual citizen all the time, right? Living in 5D and up, and then but living here at the same time. Completely possible, completely do it all the time.
Yep.
Those of us that have gone a little bit further on that ascension process, that ladder, and are helping others and empowering others to get to that place, we think we have to be very, very careful what we think. We have to master self and master our thoughts, right? Master your mind. Because what you think it's all the same thing, because the mind has been trained to the point that once the thought hits it knows there's no choice. It's just got to create it. That's what we do, right? It's been retrained to that point. As man thinketh, so is he. That, that all of this, by the way, for those of my Christian friends that are still here, all of this is all laid out in the Bible.
Right.
I could point you to every chapter and verse. I can point you the whole way. All of this is all in the Bible.
Right.
So I'm not saying anything heretical.
Right.
This is it. So I do feel like that this quantum leap, a lot of people are making a big deal of this, and this is a major cycle that these two powerhouse energies in our solar system are creating right now. A major cycle that has begun already, but this is like a starting point of that cycle. But you're right, it's like something like 180 for the next 183 years. Every time as Jupiter and Saturn do their dance, it's been for the last 200 years all in earth signs.
Right.
This next 200 years is all in air. And so as they do their dance, they're going to meet up or oppose or trine all. There'll be one of them or both of them will be always in an air sign. And that's some uncharted territory for us.
Right.
That's some uncharted territory.
But it's like, what? But you know what? I love that a lot of people are opening up to the fact that, the astrology plays a very big role in people's lives. I remember having conversations with someone way back, and I asked him what his astrological sign was, and he was like, I don't know, that's girl stuff. And I was like,
oh.
Exit stage left.
Oh my. Oops.
And I mean, you talk about all of the great scholars, everyone, even a lot of the presidents will not admit it, but they have astrologers. And, there's so many people that understand how much the planets really do affect us. And the moon, the issue with the moon, we won't get into it. But, a lot of these these conjunctions and a lot of the movements that are happening out in the cosmos very much affect us right here on the planet.
Oh, very much so.
And
Very
people are,
much so. I'm a moon child. I'm a Cancer, so I can tell you straightforward. Yep, know exactly what the moon does to everybody. Like
oh
seriously.
no, it can control the tides, but then, you know, some people will say, oh, the moon's not real. Well, we won't get into it.
Anyway, moving right along. Um, but yes, and until look, we can go back, and that'll be, and I do this here. The Leo King does it. Some other astrologers are starting to catch on. When you look historically at when these transits have happened historically, you will find and figure out and be able to begin to discern what could potentially happen now.
Yeah.
The last time this happened, this conjunction in an air sign, there was a lot of revolution that happened. Let's just say, you know, there was some major shifts and changes in how Earth, the governmental and cultural thought processes, philosophical, that's the word I'm looking for, philosophical thoughts and ideas and what ruled humanity.
Yeah.
So you need to see, you know, the end is the beginning is the end. Everything is done in cycles. Everything is cyclical.
Right.
Now we pray that we cycle upward, right? But everything is still cyclical.
Right.
So we must understand that. We must understand the transits and the energies, and mundane or global astrology is my thing. I absolutely love it. But I also look to the astrology to see as an advisory measure when it's a good time for me to do certain things in business and when it's not.
It's important. I tell people that all the time. You know, I have my team, when we work together, I know everyone's astrology, okay? And so I know if the moon is in Aries and maybe not feeling it that day because her moon is in Leo, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I need to know that so that we can know how to work well together.
Yes.
You know, even in a family dynamic.
Yes.
Have all three of the fire signs, and my daughter here dominant. You know, we everybody has all the things in their chart, but I know on days when it's just not right to do certain things in here. It's an uprising in the house, and I think if your life that way, it's not like you have this thing controlling you. It's you understand the energy. We're surrounded by it. If you don't understand how to work with it and you just are on autopilot, you're just going, letting it take you. And then you're like, oh, my day was so crazy and I don't know why, really. Well, you don't know why. You said it yourself. Maybe you should know why.
Yes. And then come back to me and talk to me later after you've figured it out, because then I can help you. Sister, this has been a fabulous, fabulous time. We will do this again on a myriad of conversations and topics, I am quite sure. I want to let the folks know where they can reach you, how they can work with you, and we'll put some of that down in the description box below as well. But let the folks know how they can work with you, where they can find you.
Well, you can go to my website, sweetspiritoflight.com. I'm also on YouTube as Sweet Spirit of Light. And really going to my website will just get you into all my social handles and a way to communicate with me. And I think right now is a really great opportunity for not just starseeds. So if you think that you're, you know, just an earthling, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you are an awakened being and you are ready to, you know, expand and move forward in a positive direction that is going to empower you, then definitely reach out to me and we can work together and I can help you through your process of ascension and get you off and going to empower yourself. It's not a just come and go be and do everything I do. It's really about you opening up. And once you've opened up, you can now have others see you doing that and say, you know what? I want that for myself. So it's really not just, it's each one teach one. So as we assist one, then another one comes and they assist and so on and so forth. And before you know it, we're all just, X-Men on the planet.
Hey, I like that. That's wonderful. And we're so very much appreciative for you being here. Guys, you'll find Shaman Destiny Raven's information down below in the description box. You're also going to find the link to the Be the Light retreat. Where we do some training as well there. And if you don't want to do it in a group session, certainly reach out to my sister. She's fabulous. And so that link is down below as well. And also the email address if you wish to join the Lightworker Masterclass, so we can get you all out there working in your purpose, whatever it is. So I'm going to let you have the last word. What if there's anything you'd like to say to the collective? What would you like to leave with the collective today?
That I am so honored to be here with all of you. I look forward to what we are going to bring to this planet and how we are going to shift it into the light, and to stay in your heart and to lead from that place, to always call your I am presence forward and to be the light that you truly are.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Namaste, sister. And to everyone, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love each and every one of you. Take care. Bye-bye.